I just need to know that people like you exist. Like, if you met me, you wouldn't think I was the...
Stepping into the club, the saxophones wail. I'm dropping rhymes like a free jazz trail, scatting rhythms off the top of my dome. Jazz fusion flow, breaking the norm. Syncopated beats driving my rhyme. I'm the maestro conducting the line. Modal melodies weaving the tale. I'm free in this space, no need to avail. Jazz fusion flow in the groove. Freedom's the show, I'll never move. Jazz fusion flow on the scene.
If the carrot is orange, then why do I start with the blue? Because on the color wheel, orange is opposite blue. When we add the orange layer on top, it creates a darker, more neutral tone. Blue and orange are complementary colors, and when mixed together, they produce a beautiful neutral shade that's perfect for deep shadows and fine details.
Yeah, wanna get a mansion, a jacuzzi, a theater to watch my movies, couple whips and lots of fancy things. The kids ain't called a goonie. See the future, crystal ball, mirror hanging on the wall. Who the fly white boy at the mall? Got your girlfriend screening on the call. She bubbling, we fucking and we cuddling like baby where the fuck Funky Bear, wanna tell you she in love with him. So, we ain't saying nothing. You could probably tell she bluffing, cause she can't.
First I started with this white oval for the face, and I sewed it onto this blue fabric that I chose, and it's super pretty. I was going for like a primary colors clown. I obviously had to go with a red nose, and then I just did the rest of the stitching with regular black embroidery thread. And I wanted to add a little star to the belly, so I did it in this red fabric for that, and I also added a safety pin so I could add little beads onto it later, and that's what it looks like. And then I got to do the arms and the ears. I chose one red ear and one blue ear with like gingham fabric in them, and now I'm turning out the arms and then stuffing them with polyfill beads, which are what I use to weight my plushies, and they're mostly filled with beads. It gives them a really nice like heavy texture. So now I just got to sew all the bits in. I'm putting the back on and then sewing all around it. And that's what it looks like. It kind of looks scary at this point, and then now I have to just turn it out, which is fun. I feel like it's like being born. But unfortunately, the next part is stuffing it, which I feel like is like not a very cute part. It looks very weird, but yeah, I'm sorry about this. It looks very strange, and then this part is even worse. Just shoving some beads in there and then adding a tail, and then I'm just gonna close that up. And now we're almost done. He just needs a collar and the beads on the safety pin. So I made a collar out of blue gingham fabric with a yellow ribbon to tie in the like primary colors, And then I added these glass beads onto the safety pin, and there we go. He's so cute. I really love him.
Hi everyone! Welcome to another episode of Crafty Wednesday. For today's video, we'll be making a DIY flower pop-up card that you can give to your mom this Mother's Day. First, kuha kayo ng square paper and fold it in half diagonally twice. Then, fold it in half yung dalawang flaps on each side. Using tape as a guide, magdraw kayo ng curve and cut. Pag inopen mo siya, this is what it should look like. Grab your coloring materials kasi magko-color naman tayo ngayon. This part is optional lang pala. You can do it as detailed or as simple as you like. Nagdraw lang ako ng spikes using the lighter color. Papatungan ng mas darker and lalagyan ng outline. And using the darkest color sa pinakagitna ng flower. Bet ko rin siya lagyan ng highlight using oil pastel. Naglagay ako ng dots sa loob and pollen using yellow pastel. We're going to cut yung isang petal tapos doon naman sa isa natin lalagay yung glue. Pagdikitin lang and now we have one complete flower. Gagawa ulit ako in another color. Same steps lang nung kanina but this time yellow naman. In total, we need 7 flowers. Fold lang natin yung mga flowers in half. Now follow this guide kung saan dapat ilalagay yung adhesive na pagdidikitan natin ng flowers. Question of the day, what quality does your mom have that you adore? Let us know in the comments. Yung mama ko, she's kind, very loving, and selfless. Going back, kumuha ako ng thick paper and kunuberan para maganda. Ngayon, dito natin ilalagay yung adhesive, flip, and then dun din sa kabila. Moment of truth. Ang ganda! Now, I'm cutting a 5-petal flower and nilagyan ko siya ng details parang yung kanina. Bet ko lang i-curve yung edges para magmukhang 3D. Magkakat din pala tayo ng leaves maliliit para sa labas and malalaki para sa loob. Nilagyan ko ng konting details. Ngayon, de-decorate na natin yung labas. In-arrange ko lang yung flowers na pabilo. Then, I added leaves, pati na rin sa loob. Nagsingit na rin ako ng mga leaves. Nag-calligraphy lang ako ng dedication, then get a strip of paper and fold it in half twice. Sa second fold natin ilalagay yung adhesive. Then, nilagyan din natin ng glue yung magkabilang dulo ng strip. Ididikit natin sa gitna like this. Lastly, nilagay ko lang yung dedication sa labas. And we are finally done. Here's our completed pop-up card. Sobrang ganda nito lalo na sa personal. Parang ang magical niya. And it's one of my favorite crafts. I'm sure your mom will love this. Bye guys!
You don't need to be a great painter to be a great artist. Welcome to episode 5 of 30, where I try a new art style as a beginner. And if you're new here, this is a series where I try 30 different styles of art to see if the creative version of myself is still there. If you're able to find inspirations for yourself in this series, that would be incredible, and let me know what you end up making. Now, this piece is inspired by a bokeh photograph of Hong Kong, the city I grew up in. My childhood was surrounded by neon lights. This is episode 5 of 30. Follow along to see what art styles I try next.
And unfortunately, due to time, people change, priorities change, and the way people